let's finally get into our new segment, Bust or Trust. First player we got is P.J. Walker. Had a great opening game. Do you trust him, or is he going to be a bust?
He did, and Atlanta's had 6 interceptions in their first 7 games, but they haven't had an interception every game. Going against P.J. Walker, he looked really good out there. He seemed like he was reading the defense well and doing what he needed to do a lot better than the other Carolina quarterbacks who were in there before. So I think that, you can probably trust him this week to go out there, and especially with that Chuba Hubbard injury being a factor and having Donta Foreman under your running back one, he could definitely have a really good week.
No, yeah. I would agree with you. I trust him. I mean, I feel like he's better than Mayfield and Darnold. So, I mean, what else you got to lose, honestly, at quarterback? So I feel like you would trust P.J. Walker. His throwing ability is a lot better. He's hitting his targets a lot more. DJ Moore had a great game because of him. So
he did. So hopefully, we see another really good DJ Moore to PJ Walker connection.
Next guy we got on here is Marquise Goodwin. Do you trust him, or is he going to be a bust after that game he had?
I think it's a little too early to say I would trust Marquise Goodwin. That was the first good game that he had actually had and put up this season for Seattle. And they're going against New York.
Right.
And New York's they've been getting in the backfield this season. So if they can stop Geno, then they automatically stop Goodwin.
I'm gonna have to go with bust on that. I mean, I feel like he only had the good game because DK went out. So your only other target was Lockett, and then just having Goodwin out there for depth, he was open a lot more because not a lot of people probably assumed that he'd be a target. So with DK coming back, I feel like it's going to be a bust with Marquise Goodwin. Donta Foreman, absolute trust. He has proved himself last game. He is now the RB1. I feel that he's going to do great as long as the offensive line can keep helping him out. He put up double-digit points last week.
Yeah, I think his main thing is the fact that the main scare for me with him is just he's going to have such an increase in touches from what he's used to, from going from a running back 3 to a running back 2 in 1 week and then a running back 1 the next. That's a lot of an increase. So as long as he can stay healthy through the entire game, I would say he's definitely a trust. If the workload is too much for him, then it is a potential bust.
Right. Even when Chuba Hubbard comes back, I feel like Donta Foreman's still going to be the RB1, but they might do a 1-2 punch, though, a lot. So even when Chuba Hubbard comes back, I would still trust Foreman. I mean, they both proved that they can run the ball.
I think it almost just kind of depends on exactly how Foreman kind of fills in at the moment while Chuba Hubbard is out.
Next guy, they just played recently, Greg Dulcich. He did pretty well. Put up another double-digit point, and for Denver, I feel like he would be trusted. But since they've already played, we won't talk much about Denver. Let's get into Mac Jones. You gonna trust it this week, or is he gonna bust again and get benched?
I think Belichick's, he's a little indecisive right now on who he wants, it seems like to me almost. And going against the Jets, Sauce Gardner has been doing his thing this year.
Yes, he has.
And I don't know if I would trust him this week as a quarterback who has been putting up minimal quarterback 1 points every week anyways.
Yeah,
I would say he is a bust.
It's iffy, man, honestly, because there's people talking about that the camera wire was in the way for one of those interceptions. So like that could have been caused by it, or like it's up and down with me. But I'd have to agree with you and go bust. I feel like Bailey Zappi is going to take that quarterback one spot eventually. I mean, if it just depends on how Mac Jones does. If he doesn't do so great, I see Bailey taking over that spot the following weeks. Next we got Michael Carter. You gonna trust him, or is he a bust playing for the Jets a game without Breece Hall?
You know, I think that Michael Carter this week in Week 8 is a trust. I think you go a week or two ahead, and he's not so much of a trust anymore. But for this week, I do say that he probably gets most of the touches with James Robinson signing so early, and then about to play now. I just think that he will have a decent game for a running back too.
Right. I would go with the trust as well, because honestly, like I had talked about earlier, Breece Hall wouldn't be Breece Hall without an offensive line. So therefore, if it's still the same offensive line with Michael Carter is going to do really good.
I can agree with that.
Next we got Raheem Mostert. Talked about earlier. He's up there in the age. He is injury prone still. Only had 2 good games, but going against Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit's allowed 300 plus offensive yards a game to every team that they have played each week this season. So, I mean, Tua, Raheem Mostert, even Chris Edmonds, they could all go out there and have a huge chunky yardage game.
But then again, it's Detroit's defense, so maybe it might be a passing game more than it would be a running game.
It is fair.
But, like you said, they did put up 300 plus points, or they do give up 300 plus points. So, might see a lot of the running game too. Just because they probably don't want to get Tua sacked as much, because they want to protect him from possibly getting hurt again.
Ain't that right, McDaniel?
So, but other than that, we are officially done. So thank you guys for watching this video.